Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
March 27, 2020, the America First edition. Well, Donald Trump always wanted to put America first, and unfortunately, he has done so now, as the United States is number 1 in the world, having overtaken China with the country with the most cases of the coronavirus, COVID-19, making it a milestone in the fight against global pandemic. We do have Trump to personally thank for this, from his inane, inept, and completely idiotic denial of the virus back in January, to his ineffectual responses and preparation, and his disastrous fomenting of racial hatred around this now. So for those of you America Firsters who listen to this podcast, stand up, take a bow, because it's your day to be in the sun. From the great state of Texas, my home state, the governor of Texas has issued a quarantine for domestic travelers who come to the great state of Texas. Right now, it's limited to anyone coming into the state of Texas from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or the city of New Orleans. Interestingly, it is only for people flying from those locations. Somehow or another, if you ride the bus, take a train, or even walk, I guess that is going to keep you from communicating coronavirus, COVID-19, to the citizens of the great state of Texas. So more Republican idiocy around the coronavirus, and now we have our first domestic travel quarantines. Next up, Boeing is in line to get a ton of money from the corporate bailout passed by the Senate. But in an article in the Wall Street Journal, it points out that Boeing's crisis is really one of its own making. It went as far as Boeing giving its directors raises in the middle of this inane 737 MAX crisis. The $1 billion in dividend checks sent to shareholders over the past 3 weeks, as Boeing claimed it needed $60 billion just to keep afloat because it's so important. So we're in the anomalous situation that a company's own conduct has required the federal government, and indeed you and I, to bail it out. So obviously the problem is we have to bail it out because it's Boeing. It's not only responsible for what it claims are 2.5 million jobs in the U.S. economy, but frankly, from a national defense perspective, we can't afford to lose our only major domestic airliner. And we end on a non-coronavirus story, as Credit Suisse has cut its former chief executive officer's bonus due to a spying scandal. Today, Thiem's bonus was slashed because of the impact on the spy scandal on the bank's reputation. He was docked about $2.25 million from his 2019 bonus. In this case, Thiem had his subordinate followed by a corporate spy, and the corporate spy, the employee was Pierre Olivier Bouet, and the spy was apparently not very good, because Bouet immediately noted that he was being followed and then reported this internally. This was a huge scandal for the bank. It was a huge black eye, something that Swiss bankers definitely do not like to go out in public, so the reason for the penalty. I am proud to announce a new podcast premiering this week on the Compliance Podcast Network. It's Compliance and Coronavirus. I wanted to bring some clarity and sanity to the compliance practitioner around coronavirus. So for the next foreseeable future, at least 8 weeks, I'll be podcasting Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of each week on a topic related to coronavirus, COVID-19. Check it out with the Daily Compliance News.